Hello, dear students. Welcome to the Syrian Educational Platform. I am Ms. Nisreen Sabani from Dar es Salaam School. Hope you are all well with a good health at your homes, and hope we could help you as much as we can through this platform during these off days. Wish you the most benefit, especially our dear students in the 9th grade and the baccalaureate who are now preparing for their final exam. Today's lesson is for the 9th grade. It is Unit 10. There is no student, so we will discuss together. By the end of the lesson, we will discuss a charity task, listen and complete a dialogue, use the question tag to check information. If you are holding your books, I want you to open your books on page 76 and have a look on our lesson. Check the pictures. What can you see? Of course, we can see two guys. Maybe they are driving a car, they are having a race or something, because our title is a car rally. A car rally is a kind of car races. But what is this car rally? Actually, this rally called the Plymouth to Banjul rally. And this kind of race or rally is between Plymouth in England, start from there, to Banjul in Gambia in Africa. So it is a very long distance. This race happened once every year, and it is there are about 500 old cars go there, participate in this race. There is a hard conditions or rules to participate in this kind of race. What are they? First, the drivers ask people to sponsor them when they finish or arrive to their destination. And the cars mustn't cost more than 100 pounds. Another thing is that the teams can't have any help from any mechanics. They have to take their cars on their own. So, although the cars are old, they have to repair them by themselves. This is the challenge. Another thing is that when they arrive at the end to Banjul, they have to sell their cars. They must sell their cars and equipment. But why do they do this? Actually, to raise money for a charity in Gambia. You know that people can make, there are many ways to make money for charities, and races and competitions like that is one of these way to collect money. To raise money means to collect money. Okay, this is so the rally which Andrew and Clive, our characters or our hero, now participating in. Now I want you to listen to a conversation between these two guys. They are driving their old cars to Plymouth to Plymouth Banjul Rally, and they are now going to have a discussion in the whole way or before they set up, and you have to listen carefully and fill the gaps. Okay, I want you to pay attention. Again, I want you to pay attention to the audio and fill the gaps. There is a question at the end of the statement. I want you to complete the sentences.
Hi, Clive. We're ready to set off, aren't we?
No, not quite.
You've packed the spare wheel, haven't you?
No, I haven't.
What about the food and drink?
Sorry.
You haven't done anything, have you?
Yes, I have. I've been studying French. Listen. Parlez-vous English?
That isn't very good, Clive.
So, In this short conversation, Clive and Andrew, Andrew asking Clive, he is feared that he hasn't prepared well for this traveling. That is why he doesn't ask him. He wanted only to make sure that they are ready. So he asked him, we are ready to set off, aren't we? Then he asked him that if he packed the spare well, haven't you? And then he discovered that Clive didn't do anything. So he said, you haven't done, because he knew that Clive haven't done anything. That is why he said, you haven't done anything, have you? So he is not asking him, he is make sure. Another part from the dialogue.
2.
Are we going in the right direction?
Yes, of course.
You do know where we're going, don't you?
I'm not sure.
You can read a map, can't you?
Yes, I can. But I left my glasses in England.
For the second time, maybe Clive and Andrew are kind of idiot or something. Now Andrew or Clive is not sure, or he is sure actually that Andrew doesn't do or prepare well or know the direction. So he said, you do know where we are going. He know that, of course, his friend knew the road, but he wanted to make sure. So he said, you do know where we are going, don't we? And then Clive said, you can read the map, because he is holding the map, and of course he can read the map. So he said, you can read the map, can't you? So he is sure. Another part.
3.
You can't hear a funny noise, can you?
What kind of noise?
I think it's the engine. Listen. You heard that, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I think we've got a problem.
Yes, and now during this long distance and the road, so Clive start to hear something in noise, because it is an old car. So he said, you can't hear a funny noise, because Andrew didn't do anything, so he can't hear any noise. That is why he said, you can't hear. Can you? Then when the sound became loud, he was sure that now Clive has heard. So he said, you heard that, you heard that. He is confirming that he heard that. So he said, you heard that, didn't you? And he said, yes, of course. The last paragraph, listen.
4.
We've been driving for hours, haven't we?
Yes. But don't worry, we're nearly there.
We're going to finish the rally. Oh, no.
You didn't remember to fill up with petrol, did you?
Sorry, Andrew.
The last problem that Andrew forgot to fill up the petrol. So we heard a lot of these short questions, which consist of an auxiliary and a pronoun. Doesn't you? Don't you? Can we? Aren't they? What can we call this kind of a question? They are tag questions or question tags. And now to comprehend the idea more, I prepared you 3 examples. So what are question tags? Look at this statement. You live in Syria. This is a statement. Do you live in Syria? This is a question. But when I start with a statement and end with a short question, this is what we call question tag. So is a question tag? A question tag is a question at the end of the statement with a question mark at the end. Another important idea about the question tag is that it is mainly used for checking information. We think we already know. Let's go back to our lesson, or what we have heard. Listen to Andrew. When Andrew believes that they are ready, what did he say when he believes that they are ready now? He said, "We are ready to set off, aren't we?" And when Andrew believes that Clive hasn't done anything, he was sure that he hasn't done anything because he asked him many questions and he hasn't done any of them. So he told him, "You haven't done anything." He wasn't asking him, he was confirming. He was making sure about his information. Another thing, Clive believes that Andrew knows where we are going, so he said, "You do know where we are going. You do know, don't you?" And when Clive wants Andrew to confirm that he heard, confirm means to make sure, to emphasize about this question. So he said, "You heard that, didn't you?" And when Andrew expected Clive to answer no, so he started the sentence with negative and say, "You didn't remember to fill up with petrol, did you?" Okay, so if we take a look on these statements, which are question tags statement, we will notice that some of the sentences start with the affirmative or the positive and end with the negative tag. And some of the sentences which start with the negative ended with a positive sentence. And that we have another thing. Please make some notes about these sentences before we go to the next thing. The main idea, as you noticed, about the question tag is the using of the auxiliary verbs. In the whole sentences, we use auxiliary verbs. Do you, did they, will you, wasn't. This is the main idea about using the question tag, is the using of the auxiliary verb. Another important things about the question tag. First thing, that we have two kinds of sentences, positive and negative. When we start with positive sentence, we end with a negative tag, and when we start with a negative sentence, we end with a positive tag. Some of the sentence or one of the sentence, when we heard the dialogue, has no auxiliary. So what did we do in this case? When the sentence hold a main verb only, so in this case we use the verb to do. Like this sentence, we went to the party. So we use did because the verb is in the past. Another important idea is the using of the pronoun, the subject pronoun. All the questions or the tags end with a pronoun, and it is subject to pronoun. So we can't use nouns, like this sentence. Joe and Anne are British. So, aren't they? I am making sure that they are British. But I can't say, aren't Joe and Anne? I have to use subject pronouns. Okay? Hope the idea is clear. And let's go to some of the quizzes. They are already on our books. We will start first with our student book on page 77. Here are some of the sentences, and I want you to try to do them. Okay? Read the sentence quietly in your book, and try first to discover the auxiliary and the subject pronouns. Okay. Okay. Sorry. Look at this. In this sentence, the subject pronoun is you and the auxiliary is have. The sentence is negative or positive. Of course, it is positive. So we have to end it with a negative tag. So we said, haven't. Oh my God. Haven't you? Okay. And in the second one, we are stopping in this town. The subject pronoun is we and the auxiliary is are. The sentence is positive. So we say it, aren't we? I think I did them before, these things. Can I erase them, please? Can I use this one? Oh no. Thank you. Can you erase all of it? This one, I have did it. Okay, thank you. Go back to this. I remember that I do them. Okay. Okay, let's do them orally at least. This sentence, they can't, started with negative form, so we said, can they? And the fourth one, she isn't, so we said, is she? Because it is negative, so I use a positive tag. Has been talking for hours. In this sentence, do you think the S here is or has? Of course it is has, because we have verb 3 after it. So I said, hasn't he? This number 6, no auxiliary. We saw amazing things. So what did I do? I take help from verb to do, and I say, didn't we? Okay. Now let's go to the activity book, Unit 10. In our activity book, we have 10 sentences. We have to match them with the second part. In this case, what can we do? We have to look first at the auxiliary verb and find if there is an auxiliary verb or if there isn't. Like the first one, the children left the door open. So here we don't have an auxiliary verb. What can I do? I can use verb to do in the past. Which one with verb to do? Now I can use the pen. Can I use the pen? Yes, please. The children left the door open, so didn't they? It takes 5 hours to get there. Here, also we don't have auxiliary verb, and the verb takes is the verb 1, with S. So I need to use does. Where can I find it? Here. It takes 5, yes. Thank you. You can speak English? Find with me. Can? Yes. We have to wear. Now be careful with the verb have to. It is not verb to have. It is not an auxiliary with verb 3. It is not a present perfect. Usually when we use verb have to, we take a help from verb to do in the negative and into the question. So when we say we have to wear, yes, don't we? And the number 5, I should say, sorry, shouldn't I should, shouldn't I can use in the question tag the pronoun I. He won't. Want is the negative form of will, so I said I use will he. It's too dark to see properly. It's isn't it? Here is it. Isn't it? No. I am not responsible for it. Am I? Yes. Am I? And the last one, it's not time to go home yet, is it? Okay, great. Another exercise. Okay. You are going to continue this exercise in your book, but I want to make sure about some of the sentences. Here we want to add the question tag. So let's take this sentence, for example. You didn't bring, it is a negative statement. So I will end it with did you? Because it is negative. And another example, he is Syrian, so what can I say? I use the is in the negative and say, isn't he? It's an easy thing. And this it's a different kind of exercise. Now the tag is here, and you have to write the statement. You have to start or choose the right statement. When I said you, help me lift this book, could you? So I used could in the past, in the positive. So here, what should I use? I have to say you couldn't help me lift this book. Okay, another thing. Also here, we say we have to go and see something else, won't we? Want is the negative form of the verb, the auxiliary will, so I use will in the positive. Okay, hope you get the benefit I want you to get. And thank you for your listening. I appreciate your time. Take care about yourself. Thank you.